Hi, my name is Nick Russo with Yoga with Nick, and I met Marianne Wells July 2015 when I attended my first yoga teacher training in Costa Rica, and it was a life-changing experience. Marianne really has a way of teaching from the heart and for the heart, but more than that, she teaches her students to teach from the heart. I later continued on 2 advanced teacher trainings with Marianne. I even followed her around the world to Bali. So with that, I invite you to join me today on YouTube Live with a recharge flow. This flow will boost your immunity. It will balance you mind, body, and soul. So get comfortable in a nice seated position. You can even sit on your knees if that's more comfortable for you. Maybe use a blanket or a cushion to get comfortable. Just making sure that your spine is nice and tall. The crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. And if you like, you can place one palm on top of the other and just begin to bring your shoulders up by your ears and release them down and back, making room. Just allowing the body to be soft. And if you're comfortable, just begin to close your eyes and scan your breath. Mentally welcome yourself into this moment. And just use maybe this mantra, I am here now. And without judgment, just begin to become aware of the breath. And whether it's shallow and deep or soft and steady, whatever it is, just observing. Maybe set it a personal mantra for your practice. It could be something very simple like, I breathe in and I breathe out. But allow the mantra to be simple to remember. And on your next inhale breath, just gently begin to open your eyes. And we'll begin with some upper body movements, just a warm-up. So you can place your hands, palms on your knees, and just begin to bring your torso down by the floor, and just begin to bring your torso in little circles. And you can allow the circles to get larger and larger, just trying to keep your sit bones melting down into the mat. And maybe as you exhale, you bring your torso down, and as you rise, you inhale. And just keep moving with this, maybe 3 or 4 times in one direction, and then you'll pause, and you'll just reverse directions. Beautiful. So now reversing our direction, just getting some movement within the hips, maybe feeling a stretch in the side body. And the next time the torso is in that forward position, as you inhale, just rise. Beautiful. And from there, just take your hands out to the side and just begin to twist from side to side. Just a couple of times, just getting the body warmed up in a very healthy way. From there, pause. As you inhale, just take your hands sideways and up. Allow the palms to touch, interlock the fingers, send the palms skyward. Begin to straighten your elbows and your chin parallel to the mat. And just begin to allow the breath to flow freely. And then allowing your palms to meet, exhaling your hands through your heart center. Welcome to your practice. So join me now on your hands and knees. We're going to begin some cat and cow tilts. So before you begin, just look down at your wrist. Make sure your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Peek back at your knees. Make sure the knees are in line with your hips. Return your gaze down towards the floor, chin away from chest. And then as you inhale, rise the gaze up, drop the belly down. Feel the stretch front side body. Tailbone goes up. And as you exhale, begin to round your spine like a cat, bringing your gaze towards your pelvis, allowing the navel to come towards your spine, letting the air go. So on the inhale, you rise, drop the belly down. And exhale, round the spine. And then move with this 3 more times on your own breath. So one breath will move you, and another breath will move you again. And so I breathe in, and I breathe out. One more time. Then as returning your gaze down to the mat neutral tabletop. From here, just gently tuck your toes into the mat. Begin to lift up your knees, straighten your legs, downward facing dog, and just begin to pedal that out. So bend at the right knee and bend at the left knee, and shake your head yes and shake your head no, and push your fingers into the mat and push the mat away so that you begin to feel the torso coming towards the legs. Drop the heels one more time. Feel the stretch in your calves and in your upper thighs. Slide the shoulders down away from your ears, and then slightly bend your knees. Send your tailbone up another ½ inch, and then straighten the knees again. Send the heels down. Feel your strength, feel your power. And then gently begin to walk your hands towards your feet and just hang heavy in this nice forward fold. Crown of the head reaching down towards the floor. Maybe shake the head yes again and shake it no, and let it all go. Walking your fingers onto your shins below your knees. Inhale, rise, half lift, straighten the elbows. Gaze is down. Roll some weight into your toes so that you stack your hips on top of your heels. And breathe in big. And exhale, forward fold even deeper. Now inhaling your hands behind your back, placing your palms on your tailbone, interlocking the fingers. And then begin to straighten your elbows and then lifting the fist up towards the sky. Feeling a nice stretch in your shoulders, dropping the head down again. And then just gently releasing the hands down to the floor. Inhale, rise, half lift. Exhale, the hands down. And then inhale, rise, mountain pose, allowing the torso to rise, hands reaching up towards the sky. Begin to root your feet down firmly in the floor, so lift up on your kneecaps and you're grounded like a tree. Fingers reaching up to the sky, chin parallel to the mat, and gently drawing your navel in towards your spine. If you're comfortable, inhale, take a slight back bend. And exhale, just forward fold, fingers reaching down to the floor. And then we'll do that 3 more times. So inhale, rise, mountain pose. Maybe add the back bend if it feels good. And exhale, surrendering. So inhale, I rise. Exhale, I surrender. One breath moves me. And another breath moves me again. And this time we'll meet in that forward fold. Inhale, rise, half lift. And exhale, the hands down. This time, inhale, rise, mountain pose. Allow the hands to meet at the top. Interlock your fingers, send the palms up to the sky. Straighten the elbows, root the feet down into the mat beneath you. As you inhale, rise onto your tippy toes. And exhale the heels down. Inhale, reach the palms up to the ceiling. And exhale, the side bend over to the right. Trying not to allow your pelvis to twist. Inhale, rising. And exhale, side bend over to the left. Just breathing into all the spaces in between the ribs on the right side of the body. Inhale, rise. Look up at your palms. And then as you exhale, just twist over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist over to the left. Inhale, center. And gently release your hands down by your side. Beautiful. So from here, take a nice walk to the front of your mat. Inhale your hands sideways and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, half lift. Exhale the hands down. Pick up the right foot and step the right foot back nice and wide. Begin to lower the right knee down to the mat. Untuck the back toes. The front knee should be stacked on top of the front ankle. And from there, using your navel, inhale, rising, low lunge. Palms are facing one another, bringing shoulders back to meet just a little bit so you broaden the chest. Maybe walk your front foot more forward if you need to find your balance. Inhaling, looking back. And exhaling, hands down to either side of your feet. Tuck the back toes into the mat, straighten the back knee, gently guide that back leg forward. And then we'll repeat on the opposite side. So pick up your left foot, step back nice and wide. Lower the left knee down to the mat, untuck the left toes, and then using your core, just inhale, rising again. Maybe looking down at your front knee, making sure the ankle's in line with the knee, tucking the tailbone slightly down. And just begin to breathe into this moment. Feeling a stretch in your hip. Inhaling, taking a slight back bend. And then exhaling your hands to either side of your feet, tucking back toes into the mat, lifting the back knee, and gently guiding that back foot forward. Inhale, rise, half lift to reset your spine. Exhaling, hands down to the floor. And then inhale, rising mountain pose. And exhaling your hands into your heart center. And just take a breath. I breathe in, and I breathe out. And then we'll just add on to that sequence. So staying at the front of your mat, inhale the hands sideways and up. Exhale, forward fold. Picking up the right foot once again, stepping back nice and wide. This time stay up on your back tippy toes. Make sure the front knee is in line with the ankle. Using your navel, just inhale, rising. So in this high lunge, you might want to walk your left toes to the corner of your mat, just for a little more balance. Nice. Begin to lift your back heel above your toes. And let's add a twist. So bring the right hand behind you, left hand in front of you. And if you want to get your neck in the twist, just begin to look over the right hand. Straighten the back knee one more time. Maybe bring your shoulders in line with your hips. Inhaling, two hands, center mat. Breathe in big, inhale. And just exhale your hands down to the mat. Gently bring the right foot forward. Inhale, rise, half lift. And exhale the hands down. Pick up the left foot, step back nice and wide. Using the navel, inhale, rising once again. High lunge. Making sure that the front knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Back heel lifting over the toes, straighten the back leg. That's where your power comes from. And if you want to add that twist, this time left hand behind you, right hand in front of you. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Inhaling, two hands, center mat. Look up, look back. And then exhaling your hands to either side of your foot, gently stepping the back foot back. Inhale, rise, half lift. And exhale the hands down. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. And exhale your hands into your heart center. Beautiful. And so I'm going to introduce to you now another flow. And we'll do this 3 times. So we'll do it 1 time together, and then we'll continue to do it 3 more times. And so the flow looks like this. We're going to inhale our hands up. Exhale, bend at the knees, chair pose. Bring the hands down and back behind us, so palms facing the floor, shoulders away from ears. Inhaling, hands in front of us again, lifting the heart up. Hands will meet, bringing hands into our heart center and standing up. So before we begin, take a nice inhale breath. And exhale, let it go. So just making sure your feet are hip width distance apart. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, bend at the knees, send the hips back. Sweep the hands down and back behind you. Inhale, hands in front of you. Lift the heart up. Add a smile to your face. Allow the palms to meet. Bring the thumbs into your heart center. Straighten your knees and rise. Beautiful. Now we'll repeat that 2 more times. Inhale, hands rise. Exhale, bend at the knees. Sweep the hands down and back. Inhale, heart lift, smile. Bring your hands into heart center and straighten your knees. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down and back. Inhale, heart rises. And exhaling, hands into your heart center. Beautiful. So breathe here for a moment. Just notice the heart beating, the thumbs pushing into your heart. You're just feeling alive, feeling grateful. And from there, we're going to take a nice wide stance on our mats. So at least 3 feet, maybe 3.5 feet. Once you're comfortable with your stance, turn the right toes towards the back of the mat, and the left foot, turn the toes in, heel goes out. Bring your hand to your left hip, and actually pull your left hip back. You want your hips facing the front of your mat. Extend your hands out from side to side. Allow the shoulders to be soft, away from the ears. And then just gaze over your right hand. Next, exhale. Just guide your torso over the right leg. Feel the stretch in your hips. And then next exhale, just bringing your right hand down towards your right shin. Stretching left hand up to the sky, trying to allow 2 hands, 2 shoulders, all to be in one line, all while bringing the left hip forward towards the front of the mat. And you just breathe into the stretch. And on the inhale, torso rises. Just releasing the hands down by your side. Pick up the right toes pointed towards the front of the mat. Then pick up your left toes pointed to the back of the mat. Right toes point in, heel goes out, so you feel the right hip go back. But place your right hand on your right hip and bring the right hip back. So 2 hips facing the front of your mat. Inhale your hands up. Hands parallel to the mat. Gaze over your left hand. Just begin to breathe for a moment. Reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Exhaling torso over your straight left leg. Feel the stretch in the hip, and then bring your hands in line with one another. And then just breathe. I breathe in, and I breathe out. Inhale, torso rises. Drop your hands by your side. Point your left toes to the front of the room. And just toe heel your feet back together. Inhale the hands sideways and up. And exhale, forward fold. Let it all go. Bend at the knees. And then come to a nice seated position. So allow the heels to meet the front of your mat. Maybe place your hands on either side of your hips, pick your hips up and send them back so that your head and shoulders and sit bones are all in one line. And we're going to do this nice core workout that's simple, yet could be hard. So extend your hands out in front of you, interlock your palms, leave your elbows nice and straight. Bring your navel in towards your spine, and then we just begin this little grinding motion. So we'll do this 3 or 4 times in one direction, trying to allow your heels to stay on the mat. And then we'll just switch and go in the opposite direction. So just think to yourself, I breathe in and I breathe out, and allow the breath to be free. Next time your fists meet your toes center, just go in the opposite direction. Just trying to add breath to movement. And after you've done an equal amount of rotations, just release your hands down by your side. Beautiful. So keeping your toes at the front of your mat, bend the knees, extend your hands out in front of you, engage your navel, and then very gently begin to bring your sit bones and your back body down to the mat. Really nice. From there, just bring your knees into your chest, wrap your hands around your knees, and maybe just sway from side to side for a moment. You could bring your forehead up to your knees, round the spine, and then release the legs out in front of you. Nice. Pick up the right foot, place it on the left knee, use your left hand to bring your right knee down over your left side body. Extend the right hand out. Just gaze over the right fingertips. Gentle twist. Beautiful. And bring your gaze up to the ceiling, releasing your left hand, straightening your right knee, extending the right leg out to the side, and then just bending at the left knee. Place left foot on right knee. Use the right hand to bring the left knee down towards the floor on the right side. Extending left hand out to the side. Just breathing into this moment. Breathing into the stretch. Allowing the body to twist. Gaze up to the ceiling. Begin to release the right hand from the left knee. Straighten the left knee. Extend your legs, both legs out in front of you. And then bend at the knees. Bring the knees into the chest once again. Reach for the bottoms of the feet and begin to lift the feet up to the ceiling, bringing your knees in towards your elbows. And then begin that same rocking motion, giving the backside body a nice massage. And then just releasing your feet down to the mat. And from here, we're going to roll onto our bellies. I'm just going to move these blocks out of my way. So bring your chin down to the mat. Extend your hands out in front of you, palms facing one another, and pinkies touching the floor. And then the tops of the feet reaching down into the floor. As you inhale to allow everything to rise off the mat. Maybe you even gently look up if the neck allows. And then exhale everything down to the mat. And then inhale, just rise again. And exhale, release right ear down to the mat. Palms at your side, let them face up. And just allow the heart to beat down into the earth. The earth that is holding you up. Next, inhale, bring your chin back to the mat. Bend at the knees, reach back around and reach for your ankles. Try to let all 10 fingers to be in that grip. Toes pointing up to the ceiling, releasing your chin down to the mat. And as you inhale, kick the feet into the hands, allow the chest to rise, thighs to rise, maybe look up. Inhale, rise. And exhale, gently let it go. Left ear to the mat. And you rest. Inhale, chin back to the mat. Curl your fingers underneath your shoulders. And just use your hands to push your chest up. And come to standing on your knees. And so we'll go into a set of camel. So you want your knees hip-width distance apart. So maybe make 2 fists, place them in between your knees. The tops of the feet could be pushing down into the mat, or you could tuck your toes into the mat to modify. Your choice. Whatever position you chose with your feet, sweep your hands behind your back, fingers facing down to the floor, and walking your elbows closer together so that you feel a nice broad chest. Begin to engage your glutes, send your hips forward, drop your gaze up to the sky, drop your shoulders back, and you can stay right here, getting a nice front side heart opener. If you feel safe and it's in your practice, you could drop the right hand to the right heel, left hand to the left heel, thumbs on the outside, fingers on the inside. Begin to push your hips forward, open your heart to the sky, drop the throat back, and just breathe. And then one hand at a time, right hand to right hip, left hand to left hip. Just placing your sit bones down to your heels. You can bring your hands into your heart center or place them on your lap, maybe palms face up in a nice receiving gesture. And if you're comfortable, again, close your eyes. And just begin to honor your practice. Thank yourself for showing up, giving yourself this 45 minutes all to yourself. And then open your eyes again and just begin to sweep your legs out in front of you, bringing your heels to the front of your mat, stacking hips on top of shoulders and head on top of shoulders, inhaling the hands sideways and up, and exhale, just forward fold, reaching for whatever you could grab, your shins, your ankles, or the bottoms of your feet. The knees could be slightly bent, and maybe you begin to slightly straighten them. Bringing the gaze down toward your shins or toward your knees, and just soften into this forward fold. And as you soften, maybe you want to walk your hand a little bit further than you have. And with every exhale, just soften and surrender down into the forward fold. Next exhale, release the grip. Allow the hands to travel down your mat, allowing the torso to rise. And then from there, just gently begin to lower the backside body back down towards the mat. Leave the knees nice and bent. Walk the heels close to your sit bones. Place the palms on the floor, and the palms are facing the floor. And as you inhale, allow the hips to begin to rise. Push more weight into your feet. Send the hips up one more time. Maybe walk your hands underneath your back. Walk each shoulder underneath your back. You could interlock your palms. And inhale, hips will rise. Gaze at the tip of your nose. And release the grip with your hands if you have that grip. And very slowly releasing the spine back down to the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you, and then walk your elbows and forearms underneath your body. So we're going to go into fish pose. So using your elbows pushing down into the floor, allow the torso to rise. And then release the top of the head down towards the floor. But don't put any weight on your head. Just breathe into the moment. And lift the head up. Lower the torso down. Allow the hands to come out from underneath you. And bring the knees into the chest. And from here, just rock the knees from side to side. The hands could be at your sides or spread out like airplane wings. The next time you find your spine straight, just begin to gently lift your feet up to the ceiling. Beautiful inversion. So just allowing the blood to rush from your feet down your legs to give your heart a well-deserved rest. And then just exhaling the legs down to the floor. allowing the whole body to remain on the floor. Maybe open and close your fist a couple of times. Maybe point and flex your toes a couple of times. And then begin to tell your body it's time to rest. So do what you need to become comfortable. I invite you to gently close your eyes and allow the entire backside body to melt down into the earth beneath you. Allow your breath to return to its natural state. There is no more work, and there is no more effort. Just begin to gently feel the natural rise and fall of your belly and chest. And just beginning with your feet, feeling the right toes pointing to the right and the left toes pointing to the left. And even notice the space in between the toes. Heels melting down into the earth, and the shins and the back of the knees, back of the thighs, all meeting the mat. Hip bones on the floor, both right and left. And from the base of your tailbone to the top of your head lies the chakra system. And they're in perfect alignment. The spine is flat on the floor. So as you inhale, breathe in from the tip of the tailbone. Allow the air to fill up to your lungs, your collarbone, and even reach the top of your head. And then just exhale, let it all go and soften down into this moment. Any thoughts that begin to arise, just watch them and let them pass by as if they're on a white cloud. Not trying to stop the thoughts from coming or going, just simply noticing, becoming aware. As the eyes gently relax down into their sockets. And the breath, slow, steady, is flowing freely. And this is what yoga is all about. Being that calm within the storm, making room, finding freedom within the body, mind, and spirit. So enjoy another breath here. And then tell your body it's time to awaken once again. And gently begin to open your eyes and letting in some low light. Maybe bring some slight movements into your fingers and your toes. Maybe allowing those movements to get larger and larger. Trusting yourself, giving the body what it needs. It might feel good to bring the knees into the chest and wrap the hands around the knees. And then just roll onto the side of your choice. Pause for a moment. Allow the body to settle. And when you're ready, just using your hands, push yourself up into a nice seated position. Maybe you come to sitting on your knees or a cross-legged position. And I invite you to end class with me with 3 breaths. So once you're comfortable, you can take your hands, palms face up on your lap. Inhale the hands sideways and up. Allow the palms to meet. And just exhale the hands into your heart center. Inhale, you rise. Exhale, you surrender. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bringing your hands into your heart center. Looking down at your own fingertips, honoring yourself, honoring your practice. And then looking up and just honoring the world, sending all of this beautiful energy that you just created out to someone that you love. Maybe it's someone that you don't even know. And with that, I say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.